Ooh, okay. So, you know I had to do this. I always react to my sparring or all my fights. I've done it every single time. So, this could be my last time doing it. So, I'm 100% doing it now. Hopefully, I should be whitelisted enough for this footage. What I did is I got an edit of each punch that was thrown in the fight. So, every punch that seemed like a legitimate punch, both from me and from Kenny, and like kind of slow-mo, so we can like summarize the entirety of the fight, and I can give you my thoughts and my feelings about each punch thrown and what those exchanges from my point of view and what I remember. Yeah, obviously there's been so much controversy with our decision, with the fact that I lost. A lot of people thought that I won. The PBA came out with their reasoning and their judging, and there's been talks about that, but I just want to talk about the combat part of it and just react to it myself, so you guys can see what I was thinking and what I felt from the shots and what I like. You know, I've done lots of, as you guys know, different types of combat sports, kickboxing, MMA, and now professional boxing. So yeah, here are my honest thoughts on each strike that was thrown. And but yeah, overall, man, it was really cool to box. This was my first full contact boxing match. I don't really consider the one with PJ full contact because it was headgear and a little bit bigger gloves, and it was more of an exhibition, like a full contact fight like this one with real consequences out there. So yeah, I'm gonna go through each round. A lot of it is zoomed in and like in slow-mo, so you can see each. All right, so we start off. Boom, first one. Kenny lands his jab. At this point, I realized, okay, that 80-inch reach is pretty real, and his footwork's pretty good, and he's pretty quick. So I got to get switched on right away. That jab caught me off guard. Just how much ground he covered was pretty quick. Boom. I try to slip underneath it. Here in the beginning, he lands a jab. I land like a hook. He partially blocks that hook, though. So his punch was cleaner at that point. And then here comes the boom. I noticed I needed to slip inside of it. And he was kind of pushing on his jab. So it was really stepping in. So I tried to time it perfectly and slip inside of it. Because his arm's just so long. I ran into his arm quite a bit trying to throw that overhand. He got so much length in that arm. But I was able to land this one. Rocked him a bit. Here's the replay. Beautiful replay from DAZN. This is pretty cool to be able to have like a DAZN replay. It's just pretty sick here. Try to follow up, and you see the ref here yelling to stop pretty quick here. Land a beautiful shot. Kenny's got a chin, dude, because that was a hard shot. Wanted to follow up, and Kenny was covering. We knew that I knew that he was going to cover like this. So the plan was, if I was able to rock him and he covers, you know, touch and long hooks, try to get those hooks to sneak him into the guard, but you can see he shortens him up for the standing 8. He kind of grabbed me there. Kenny almost landed a punch after that. So here are the punches after this, the end of the first round. So a lot of it was this, a lot of it, not a lot of punching. I try to slip inside, throw a double jab, not much there. But a lot of it is just us gauging distance and not really landing much. And again, these are all the punches that were thrown in the first round. Not much of anything. I was trying to hook, you know, slip inside through the hook, but I couldn't really reach. And this was something I noticed. I forgot, but I noticed watching it. And Kenny was doing a good job of hooking my head, which was illegal. But hooking my head and kind of pulling my head down after his jab to keep me from following up. He did get some warnings from the ref. But I do remember that having trouble getting inside as well because he was hooking the back of my head there. Again, trying to gauge distance. And then boom. I think this cross got forgotten from the slip here. Again, because he was a little pull of the head here. But I threw a lead right hand right off the temple there. And we clashed knees, and he pulls me across, so I kind of stumble. I know the crowd went kind of crazy, but I knew that I landed a right hand there. A jab off the gloves, nothing there. He lands a jab here. I block it on the end of it, but I remember this one getting through. You can clearly see that jab lands through. And then parry here. Jab to the body lands. I remember that one. And then jab to the glove. I noticed that, so a lot of times, I'm not sure if this was a tactic to seem like he was scoring, but he would jab to my right hand. Like it did not look like he was trying to land a jab in my face. He was jabbing the glove, jabbing the right hand. You can see it again right here. Obviously, I blocked that one more, so jab to the body, jab there, but boom here. And this one here, so that's what I meant before. I clashed with him. So I went to throw the overhand, and he hit my shoulder. Man, I had a bruise here from this one. So he knocked off the shoulder, and I glanced the right hand off the side of the head there. Not a clean shot, but I couldn't get a clean one there. But very close, again, of trying to duck inside, trying to slip inside and throw that overhand. I had success of it early, and I was trying to catch that one all night. I ended up catching it again later. Jab there, and then a nice little lunging hook that I hit absolutely nothing, whiffed. And I believe that was the end of the first round. Those are the exchanges there. I can't believe that was the third judge called that round a draw. I mean, everyone can agree that that first round I felt like it went to me. But he said he wanted to draw because of the end. But I was like, no, I landed some punches, man. I did land some more punches after that. It wasn't just that punch. I know that one of the consensus people are saying that it was just those moments, but I did feel like, I remember feeling like, not just watching back, but feeling like I did a good job of defending and countering the jab in the later round of the first round. But here's the second round. Trying to find my timing. This is probably Kenny's best punch right there. Beautiful counter jab that he landed. I didn't duck low enough. He did a good job of like matching his head level with me, changing levels with it, and then throwing that jab right there on my left hook, and just completely countered me there. A lot of gauging in distance. Duck under here, try to land the left hook. Land a little cheeky left hook there on the break. Trying to gauge my distance. At this point, because I think I landed that right hand early, when I tried to like counter and blitz, he was doing a good job of getting out. And here I try to do, like, I think I'm Superman here. I try to blitz across, boom, and land the right, and he stuffs it. But actually, when you look at this, I don't know if you guys can see, but right here it's actually our hands clash. So his hand's coming up right here, and our fists just clash, and then his hand ends up like framing, and he's pushing, so he kind of like frames his hand against me, and it stuffs that blitz there. But again, you see there that jab against the glove. I don't know if those were scoring as well. We're both here in the center. I'm looking. He lands a nice jab. You can see my head pop back here. Lands an uppercut on the break, and then hammer fist me on top of the head. But two clean shots there from Kenny. And here, like, here's another tricky one, because you can see, like, for example, right here. It's like this jab, when it comes through, right? My right hand's up, and it hits the glove. You see it here hitting the glove. And then counter jab for me. There. Nothing crazy, but yes. Then I land a left hook here in the break. A little messy, but yes. Then trying to stay away from the jab. Trying to time him. Trying to blitz here. And here, very interesting. People ask me, do I ever feel like, is it hard sometimes to not kick or do other forms of martial arts, like in a boxing match or something like that? Never had that issue except this moment. That was one time I almost like switched, because boxing is so rigid and limited in its rule set. So it's the most restricted, right, out of all the combat sports. So this one, he actually hooked my head and did a little Logan Paul and pulled me into the uppercut. And I remember thinking, like, hey, let's follow the rules. Now, like, I remember like having a little moment in my head, like, we're not supposed to do that, right? Let's keep it within the boxing rule set. Because right here you can see pulls my head down and in and lands an uppercut there. And I was like, wait a second. And the ref did mention it, and he does warn him a couple times because he was framing off my head. But I think I do get him back, though, on a clinch. I end up hooking his arm and hitting him. But it's just one of those things where it's like, hey, let's keep it boxing now. Boom, nice little. I tried to do a check hook here, and I ran a jab. I didn't do a good job of changing levels enough, right? That up jab, because his hand's already low. So I tried to blitz first, and since his hand's low, right, it's the up jab. I end up running into it So he lands that jab, and I try to land the left hook, but it's partially because his hand's up, but he gets the better of that exchange there. Boom. So again, off the glove. Looking for my opportunity. He's long in here. I think this was it right here, a hook. And then bang, nice little left hook there at the end. A nice little pat in the back. And here's the beginning of the third. Okay, so now the third round, I think one of the judges had me losing the third round. Again, I was surprised because I actually felt personally, I remember the third round being my best round. I felt like I scored the most throughout the round and plus had the moment. I didn't have the standing 8, but I felt like I had more control of the exchanges throughout. And again, thinking back on it, you talk about ring generalship after the fact, but I felt like I was in control of the fight, which means I was defending and staying on the outside of the jab for the most part. Like I was defending the jab and countering the jab more than it was being landed on me, right? So I felt like I was 1 up or 2 up in that sense. I felt like I was looking for opportunities. And I was more like, I wasn't just tentative. I know I said I wanted this war, but I was able to land that overhand because I found like a moment of when Kenny like fell asleep. And if you pressure a lot, you can make your opponent be more alert. So I was trying to create opportunities where like he'll jab and I'll parry, jab and I'll parry, jab and I'll parry. And then when he jab, I shoot, right? So I was trying to create those instances where I could counter and catch him off guard. And I did. I just didn't do it enough, like more so in like the second round to win clearly the second round and or the fourth. But yeah, here. So this is the beginning of the third. Okay. I come out, I land a body jab in the middle of the third. Here, nothing there. Again, range finders, double jab. You can see his head moves back there. I land one, at least 1 or 2 of those. There I punch his elbow. I absolutely miss everything. Then I come in. So see, that's a perfect example of what I was trying to do, right? We're creating this back and forth. I kind of pivot. We're here and then burst. Right, so I'm looking for that blitz opportunity to surprise him, and it worked. Right, I land here, I follow up there, nice little jab cross to the body. Oh, that overhand. Looking back, and I was like, man, so close. Like these were very close to being finishing shots here. Like right there, that jab came in. And I tried to duck inside again. I think he kind of framed off of my arm and kind of stopped it there, but I just grazed him, but needed to extend it straighter. Again, as you can see here. Boom, I come in, duck, just missed that one. That was a big one. Come back with a left hook, and then we're clinching. A little MMA action here. But again, this is where the warning in because he was holding and hooking, but that's pretty standard in boxing. Here we are. This is the rest of the third, right? So not much or anything. I landed a nice body hook here. Nice little left hook liver shot, right? I didn't get enough weight behind it, so it wasn't clean, but I definitely landed it pretty solid. I remember that one. I noticed that he, right before this, he wasn't doing most of the time, but he went to a high guard, like right there. So you see, so his hands were low. He went to a high guard. So I was like, okay. So as soon as his hands dropped, I went right to the left hook to get the high guard back up, and then gave me the opening for the body hook. Again, this is the third round. Looking for opportunities. This one grazes. If you look here, I try to turn my thumb down, land an overhand. He's so tall, so it's so hard. So grazing hook there. Nothing there, and a lot of it is just this. I know, like the pawing and finding the outside. And here, man, great job. His arms are so long that there was times where my arms would get caught, like in weird situations that don't usually get caught here. So he comes in. I was looking for that right hand. He finally throws a right hand. I was waiting for him to throw it, so I duck under, and I'm trying to, like Mike Tyson, dude. I'm trying to come up with everything on this hook. I'm like, there's the right hand. I'm underneath it, and I try to turn into it. But you can see, like, his left arm gets tangled into my hook and, like, lifts my elbow. And then same thing with the right there. But it was very awkward exchange. I remember being like, what just happened? He's trying to stay on the outside. Here we punch each other in the shoulder. We just straight jam. There's coach yelling at me. Boom. Remember feeling that there. Boom. I think he landed that cross to the body, to be honest. I do not remember. Did stay on the outside again. Trying to look for this opportunity to blitz. Double left hook there. Again, this is the third round, so double left hook landed. And then this is one of my favorite things. One of my favorite, just because it's difficult to do, but he jabs. But you slip inside. So I slip inside to land a right body hook. I was really happy with that. Even when I did it, you see me, I kind of like dance on the way out. But to be able to throw a right hook inside of a jab, because it's tricky to slip inside. So to land that, and then I catch his left hook off the glove, and then dance my way out. I just remember being like, "Oh, that was cool." I just felt that was nice exchange there. So this is what I'm feeling like. This is the third round. I scored in the beginning, had the moment in the middle, defended, and then scoring after. And then I think that's the end of the third, right? Felt good. This is the beginning of the fourth. Again, I'm trying to record all the punches. The beginning of the fourth, slap down, boom, return jab, not totally clean. Here, land a body jab. Again, beginning of the fourth, land a nice counter left hook inside the jab. Trying to stay on the outside, looking for opportunities again. Try to slip inside. Let go of my head, Kenny. Again, jabbing kind of back and forth. They're trying to catch each other. Just trying to slip, looking for opportunities. Boom. He does a good counter jab here. Great job of like framing and throwing his jab at the same time. Didn't allow me to land a clean left hook. Here. That one looked like it got through. I couldn't tell if it was off the glove or not, but it looks like it got through. So it got through. Here. Make sure they miss. And that was the right hand. Again, this is the opportunity I was looking for. I've done it in the first and the third, and I just missed on this one. Perfect opportunity. I did it at the right time. I had him to fall asleep for a second. As you can see, he doesn't see it at all. That right hand. And I try to just bump down, just get the hands to stay low, and just miss it. And I think this was one too. When I watched, I was like, when I ripped up everything, I'm like, this was a lights out shot, but just missed it. Just my timing, and I bounced out. Probably should have followed up there, obviously, like most of my combinations. But yeah, that was the one. I was like, oh, I found the perfect time. I was like, man, just missed it. Yeah, right there. Boom, just missed, just on the outside. Here. Boom, trying to parry, trying to find another opportunity. Slip inside, jab, body. Try to go there. And then boom, the trading. The trading. To me, this trading was even, except for the point that I was coming forward. Maybe do I get credit here for being in the center of the ring at the end of the fight, and him in the I try to come forward, right? So I land an overhand, and then he returns with a beautiful uppercut. He eats the overhand, and then bang, uppercut. Beautiful boxing. Boom. I back out. And then I land a nice little check hook here. Bam. Right there. I was happy about that. And then we just I slip inside. That goes off my arm. We just punch each other in the chest. And just shoulder. Just jammy. Sorry that. And then he almost hit the ref. The ref was not happy about that one. I remember being like, hey, what's up? Yeah, so that was every punch thrown in my fight. I think I'm happy with my performance. I think there was... The strategy became, because I had success with catching him off guard. And that was part of my plan, to try to move a little bit and surprise him, right? Try to find the right time to counter. And I did have some success, but now since I didn't have an opportunity to follow up early, he was kind of hip to it, right? So now I had to find different ways to do that. And his jab, he was longer than I thought. And when I say that, I mentioned before, it wasn't like he was hit, I felt like I was getting hit with a jab. It's just trying to figure out a way around it, right? So I'm parrying it means I can't follow up. And also, since he wasn't following up or looking for power shots, there wasn't a lot of opportunities to trade, right? I had to initiate, so that was good. He did a good job of trying to negate the war, right? Because I would have been down if when I came in, I'm the one who was trying to blitz and then look for opportunities to come forward, because he was holding the center. So I'm kind of moving side to side, like classic boxer, right? Try to pick my shots and then look for opportunities to close the gap, land something significant, follow up, etc. But yeah, obviously there's like when you look back, even him, there's gonna be like, oh, I wish I did this, I wish I did that. But overall, I think defensively, I was happy. I didn't get hit by anything significant. Offensively, I was able to do things besides just land a few punches. So, body hooks, hooks up top, down below, right hand, left hand. So I was happy about that overall. The thinking back at it, the experience boxing wise, as a martial artist, I was happy with what I was able to do. Obviously, I wish I could have done more. Regardless of the judges, I'm just looking at it from my point of view, as my perspective as a martial artist and as someone who trains in combat. But man, the question is, will I ever do this again? I don't know. I never say never, but as of right now, no. Until the perfect opportunity arises again. But yeah, thank you so much, guys. We'll be back soon with another video, some more training, some more good stuff. Leave a like and subscribe. Oos.